Pink, that's happening. With Ajit sir, people are going to come and throng cinemas because it's him, you know. I believe that, we are all, like all the ladies in our film industry, we're not just heroines, we're actresses. Some days I feel like, enough of shuffling around. Which industry do you which industry wants you the most? Come on, tell me. So I still don't know where my demand is the most. And when you're back home, you're still eating in steel plates and steel glasses, you're drinking water from, and then your dad is screaming at you, why is the fan on? You know who pays the electricity bill?
Vanakkam and welcome to Reeling by Cinema Express. We have Shraddha Srinath with us. Hi.
Hi.
Big congrats for the success of Jersey. And Shraddha is a lawyer turned actor who wishes to be called as an actor and not as a heroine.
Yeah.
Why the peculiar Instagram bio?
I feel the word heroine is a very shallow term. I feel like a heroine means that you're only there to add like a pretty face in the frame and just like the glam quotient to a film. But an actor truly sort of
You add value to
you add value to the film. You know, without you the film is incomplete. So I believe that we are all, like all the ladies in our film industry, we're not just heroines, we're actresses. And I'd like to be called a heroine. So yeah. Actress.
Okay. You've been traveling a lot. We follow your Instagram and you've been almost every day you're on a flight. How do you manage to get the languages right?
I feel jet lagged, first of all, traveling within the country. Yeah, like some days I wake up in my hotel room bed and it takes me 30 seconds to realize which city I'm in, which hotel I'm in. It's kind of crazy. But how do I manage languages? You know, it's very funny. Like I just finished Jersey promotions and I was there for like...
And you have to kind of talk in Telugu.
Yes. And because you know that you're going to have to talk in Telugu, when I'm not answering interviews or talking to journalists, I'm constantly thinking, okay, Telugulo idi matladali. You know, I'm asking my staff, okay, how do I say this? So I'm constantly thinking of, how to improve my Telugu when I'm off camera. Now suddenly I'm promoting K-13 here. Yeah. Last night I had this fear. I'm like, I will not be able to speak in Tamil because I'm not I have to get out of that Telugu zone and enter Tamil. It's difficult, honestly. But I just give it like a few days and I'm fine.
The only clue we got about your character was the single teaser and the promotions. So,
right.
And they were very particular not to reveal anything about your role.
Yeah.
And we know it's a suspense thriller. So,
right.
It's a very tricky question. So, can you tell something about the film and your role in the film?
I can actually, without giving away much. So, essentially this is, if I were to tell you the genre, it's a thriller. It's a psychological thriller. And so my character's name is Malarvidi, beautiful name. And so she plays a writer, right? She's an author, she writes books, and she's one of those, like a writer. So anyway, she's a creator, right? She's creating content, like she's like an actor, director, writer, music composer. She's a creator, she's an artist. So she's one of those writers who sort of like compulsively obsessed with what next, what do I write about? And she's constantly thinking about, okay, like constantly looking for inspiration to write something new about, because it's like cutthroat, the industry is cutthroat. You have to always keep creating something new, something unseen, something unread, right? So, she's someone who will go to any lengths to seek inspiration, to write something about. And because this movie, as you can tell from the teaser and everything, it's got its, it's dark, it's got its gray shades. So she, like I said, she can go to any lengths to seek inspiration, and sometimes that's a great thing, sometimes it's not such a good thing. So that's somewhat like the tone of the film. And yeah, so Arul Nidhi, as you know, he plays a filmmaker, aspiring filmmaker, and they meet. They're strangers, they meet, and what happens between them. That's what.
Almost all your films, except Operation Alamelama, all your roles have been pretty much serious ones.
Right.
So, when can we expect you to do a light-hearted comedy in Tamil?
Whenever they offer me a good light-hearted comedy. But no, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like actually, all of my films are somehow very emotionally charged, borderline like dark and sort of thrillers. Those are the kind of films I have received, which is interesting. I crave to do like a good lighthearted. I love romantic comedies, especially like we have all grown up watching Hollywood rom-coms, and I would love to do something like that. Hello, directors. Hint, hint. But yeah, I mean, basically, I want to try out like all sort of genres, whatever possibly I can do, and that's the mark of a performer. You know, when he can convincingly pull off different characters, different genres. Comedy is difficult, actually. Comic timing is something that the best have not been able to do, like the best of actors. So comic timing is a whole different thing. So yeah, I would love to try out something.
You've done diverse roles and diverse characters. Which character or which particular film do you feel is pretty much close to your real life character?
Like Rachna from U-Turn. Except I'm someone who'll not keep harping on about, she's like, oh, like, like those characters in horror films, they hear a sound and they will go and open the door and see what is making. I'm not like that. So when something spooky, I just leave. I take the blanket, cover my face, and I pray to God and I hope.
Let me face it in the daytime.
Yeah. When the sun rises, I will go check the whole house, not at night. I'm not one of those silly characters. So I'm a lot like Darshan in the sense I'm strong and whatever, independent and all of that. But I know when to let go. I know when to cling on. Rachna was very adamant like that. She's a very stubborn girl.
How do you greenlight a project? What are the 3 major things or must-haves in a script that you sign?
So for me, there's 3 things and they're all equally important. It's the script, of course, as a whole. It's how much value my character adds to the film, and preferably a strong woman. Thirdly, the technicians in the film, and who, like, basically the technicians, and I also mean who the producer is and how it will be made. So it's basically all these things.
Yeah, okay. I remember reading in a previous interview of yours that you want to make film for the intelligent audience.
Yeah.
Do you think all your films have checked that particular box?
All the audiences are intelligent. It's just that we are spoon feeding them.
Yeah.
We are underestimating their intellect, and we are giving them films that, like, they are smarter than that. We are all audiences. We are all smarter than that. So it's a spoon feeding. It's all of that I don't resonate with as an actor. So yeah, and so even if it's a comedy, it can be a smart comedy. There's some amazing comedies out there. So it doesn't have to be slapstick or derogatory to a certain gender or a type of people or a community or a race. You know what I mean? So like intelligent and like good, like those kind of films.
Talking about your giant leap from a day job to an actor, like what gave you the push to pursue acting as a full-time career? Like, was it the drive inside you, or did the people surrounding you give you the push?
It was both. I'll tell you what gave me the biggest push. It was the fact that I was miserable in my day job, miserable in my law job. Like, everything was perfect in my law job, actually. The people were excellent. The opportunities, the responsibilities given, the money, everything was 10 on 10. It's just within me, I felt very out of place in that environment, because law as a field, I realized it's just stopped making sense to me after some time. So for me, it was a means to an escape. I just wanted to leave it and get into acting. Does not mean that I wanted to run away from this and take acting as an escape. I was equally passionate about acting. I would not have quit law if I was being given like another job or something else. For me, it was acting on one hand and law on the other hand. So the balances were obviously in the favor of, acting. So it was that, and because I've faced like months of mental turmoil where every night I'd be like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this? So what if you fail as an actor? At least give it a try. There's so many questions I had in my mind, and it's not easy. Like, I was like, no one wants to depend on their parents after you're a certain age. You don't want to go ask your parents for, like, I want fuel money, I want recharge money, I want to watch a movie. Like, and like as a struggling artist, things can get really bad. You may have like 10 rupees in your bank account. So I didn't want to face such a day where I depend on my parents, but at the same time I said, what, just give it a try. What if you succeed? What if? So there was that. Of course, my parents, they gave me the green signal, and till this day, I think that if they had said no, or if they had persisted that, no, maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe you should just stick to your law job. If they had said that, I would have probably been like, yeah, maybe my parents are wiser and like they have seen life, so maybe they're right. So I would have stuck on to that job. But it just, everything just fell into place.
We are glad that they gave you the push to pursue acting. Yeah. I remember a particular Insta post of yours recalling the day you chose acting. Yeah. And that particular day got a lot of messages sting of the screenshot saying that this girl has been a great inspiration for us, and I'm going to take the leap.
Oh, really?
So you've been a very, very big inspiration for a lot of us. I'm not sure whether you're aware of it.
I don't know, but it's very heartening to know this. Thank you.
Talking about your career as a lawyer, I remember reading that you chose law because the profession the profession itself is interesting, and it gives you the power to make changes.
Yes.
Positive changes that a normal person can't do.
Yes.
And but when it came to practical work and the paperworks, at some point you felt that this is the real life scenario is a bit different from what you had imagined. Right. Being an actor, right now, do you think you feel empowered, and do you think you have the power to make a little bit of change in the society?
Absolutely. Yes. When I picked law as a subject, meaning my parents said, so what do you want to do? They never said A, B, C. They never gave me any options or advice. They said, pick what you want. The world is your university. Pick wherever you want, whatever you feel like studying. At the age of 17, you are like, you're not that, I won't say smart, but you're like,
naive,
you're naive. And when you're given that freedom, and I knew I didn't want to do medicine or engineering, so I'm like, let me pick law. It looks interesting, because I was always good with language, and I know that at least in the court dramas that I had watched as a kid, speaking is such a big part of, like law and writing. So language was always my sort of strong point. So I picked law. I did Inky Pinky Ponky. I picked law. And then, so 5 years down the line, I realized, okay, it's still a great field. You can still make changes. But it's just like, I realized that the decision I had made, and then growing up, I realized that maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not so, you have to be passionate about it, because law is a lot of struggle. You have to be really passionate about it to sort of face it all. Right now, like you said, with a certain sort of audience, I'm counting my social media, and with your help and with media in general, I do feel like I feel empowered. I feel like I can make a point, and I use every platform that I can to speak about my core beliefs as a woman, as an actor, and talk about what's wrong with the society, or, like all these things. So I definitely feel very empowered, and I feel really thankful, because a lot of people don't have this kind of voice or this kind of power. And I think as actors, we should all realize what kind of power we have and use it, because people are watching us, they're listening to us, and they want to watch us say the right things. They want us to inspire them. So it's a great place to be in.
Even in your social media platforms, we see you posting a lot about the middle class problems, and we personally feel you're the most relatable actor right now. So how are things right now, balancing or getting the best of both worlds?
Yeah. When I go home, I'm still a very middle class person. I'm still, some things don't change. Yeah. That part is there. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting phase of my life when there's some amount of fame and glory and attention and all of that. And when you're back home, you're still eating in steel plates and steel glasses you're drinking water from, and then your dad is screaming at you, why is the fan on? Who pays the electricity bill? So there's all of that happening. I love it. I that's what I love about.
And you get to meet your old friends.
You get to meet your old friends. Luckily, I call myself a semi-celebrity, like I'm a celebrity, but at the same time, I can go around, do my own thing without being disturbed. Like, I have all the freedom when I'm in Bangalore, wherever I go to Chennai, wherever. So I love it. It hasn't changed me one bit. I'm still like, I'm not a spendthrift. And I've always, like, how much ever I earn, I've always been a practical spender. Do I really need it? Like, sort of thing. So I think credit goes to my family for raising me in a certain way. Like, I know my values. I'll spend if I must, but I will question if I want it. So yeah.
During the initial phase of your career, I remember you saying that you can't, or at that particular point of time, you didn't see yourself doing the roles which the usual mainstream actors or the top line actors doing. you felt that you belong to a different league.
Yeah.
But we have Rustam coming up in the lineup, and it's a pretty much people's entertainer kind of film. Out and out commercial film and starring the biggest star of Kannada industry, Shivraj Kumar. So.
Yes.
How do you see? Like, I guess this is your first out and out commercial film. So how does this happen?
Big production, big commercial film. So yeah, it's very interesting when you join, when you're new, you're very idealistic. Like, I remember in the beginning I was like, the script is the only thing that matters to me. I will do any film as long as the script is good. Then you realize that this is not just about scripts. It's a business after all. You're running your own business. You have to be smart. You have to take the right decisions. So similarly, I realized that if I stick to my, like what I said, what did you say I said? That I don't see myself, I don't associate. I realize you go with the flow. A rolling stone seldom, what is that saying in English? So you got to keep moving with the times. You got to keep moving with the industry. And that's what I have done, I guess, without compromising on my ideals and my principles. Even if it's a commercial film that I'm a part of, I will give the best performance like that my character requires. Right. So in the end, I'm not selling my soul. I'm just like doing a good job. That's all.
Do you think the industry has become a better place for women?
On sets, as an actress, I'm given utmost comfort because I'm the actress. You should ask this question to the women who are not actresses. So there must be a lady hairstylist, or there must be a lady assistant director, or like a lady production manager, or a lady sari drapist. You should ask them this question because they are the ones who are not treated like luxury, right? So you should ask that. I think that asking them would be, but to me and to every other actress, treatment is top notch. Gender inequality is there, not just in our industry, in every industry in society throughout. So I understand it's the men who bring in all the money. It's their face and their name. Unless you're a Nayanthara, she's a star too. She's a lady superstar. Yeah. So she can bring in audiences, right? So the producers will spend no matter what on her film because they know the money will come back one way or the other. So I understand that the monies of like the money involved obviously depends on how many audiences you can draw in. So I understand that there's a salary like disparity. But if I am like 4 films old and I have delivered, let's say 2 hits, and I'm acting with a hero who is who's an absolute nobody, then if he's still getting paid more than me, then I would have a problem. Unfortunately, there's no way to find out who's getting paid what. At least I don't poke my nose into all these things. You never know. It's unfortunate about the whole thing. If a hero and heroines, if an actor and actress's name can come on the poster together because they're the faces of the film, that's a good step. That shows like, okay, equality. Those are the small things we can do to display that, you're both equally cherished or valued in our project, sort of thing. So that's one thing I think we can do. I don't know about salary. I don't know about remuneration. It's a long way to go for that. A long way.
Apart from acting, do you see yourself doing being a part of other departments in the filmmaking process?
Yes. I would love to be an assistant director.
Great.
Yeah. You know why? Because I feel like they always get like a raw end of the deal, They're the ones that the director's scolding, and then the actors are also like telling, why didn't you tell me before? Why didn't you? So I want to be an assistant director to some of the most amazing directors that
Can you name any filmmaker you want to be an assistant of?
So many. I would love to assist like the Gayatri Pushkar. I acted in a Hindi film, Tigmanshu Dhulia. I would love to assist him. I told him also, I said, sir, if not now, once I retire from films, like when I give it all up, I would love to assist you. Then you can scold me how much ever you want. So I would love to be an AD. Because see, direction is something that I'm quite interested in, but I don't think I'm someone who, I'm not ready to take on full responsibility of a film, because in the end, the director takes full responsibility, good or bad. So I want to try out assistant direction, try out the different departments, and I would love to be an assistant director. That's my another passion.
What's your take on remakes? Because your film got remade in 2 languages, and you're also part of Pink's remake, Nerkonda Paarvai. So what's your general take on remakes?
If remakes can be viewed freshly as a whole new, like completely erase from your mind that you watched the original. If you look at it as a new film and retain the essence of it, that would be a nice remake. I have done so many remakes. Not so many. I mean, I've done Richie was a remake of a Kannada movie.
Yeah.
What else have I done? Nerkonda, of course, there's a Pink remake, Nerkonda Paarvai. So these are all faithful remakes. There are some films that there are some films that really make sense in being remade, like, you know, because let's say like U-Turn was only watched in Karnataka, but I personally thought it was a great subject, very gripping story. So it's great that it was made in Tamil and Telugu, because some stories need to be told, need to be watched by more people. So that was great. And through Samantha, because she's such a huge face, big name, through her, like, more people got to watch it. Similarly with Pink, that's happening. With Ajit sir, people are going to come in throng cinemas because it's him, you know. So yeah, I've done so many remakes. It's a good thing sometimes, yeah.
What are the next 3 things on your wish list?
I would like to take a holiday.
Okay.
I would like to dub in Tamil.
Amazing.
I would like more interesting films. I would like to do more interesting films.
Playing a character which is older than your real age. You've done that in Jersey. You've done that in Vikram. So, how do you see that?
It's a very interesting question. I remember I had discussed this with Navein Polly once, and he said, you should always do characters. You should always exhaust all the characters where you can play your age, and then move on to the older characters. Because once you, like, if you prematurely move on to the older characters, then you may just get typecast, and then you'll continue playing those. That's what he said. It's a very safe, and that's very sound advice. I do obviously think about this a lot. Sometimes I feel like it's a risky move. It may just be your last film, where, you know, after which you'll just be typecast as mother's role, this role, that role. But I feel like, you know, I'm here to sort of play good roles and do good movies, be part of, like, amazing projects, and it's worth the risk. Like, I always, like, my whole jump into cinema happened with what if you fail, but what if you succeed? Similarly, I mean, what if I get typecast, but what if I don't get typecast, and what if people love me in that character and the movie does amazingly well and you get more offers and, like, amazing films. So it's always in that hope that I continue to pick these characters. And
working in all the industries simultaneously, doing multiple projects with multiple production houses in different industry, do you think that it's a calculated move, or did you take the offers as they came to you?
I took the offers as they came to me. You know, if I were to so with someone like me who's very picky about her projects, I can choose to stick only to Kannada. I will get like 50 films a year, 50 offers a year, but I may pick only 3 because the rest of them are not good enough. I don't feel it, or I'm like, maybe I don't want to do it too soon. I'll do it later in my career. So I'll end up picking only 3. And for the rest of the year, I'll be jobless. So it's only to avoid joblessness. And the fact that I'm getting amazing, I'm spoiled for choice, you know. That's the best thing about being Shraddha Srinath. In the sense, like I said, maybe I'm getting 50 offers from each industry, but I'm picking only like the cream, the best that I can find. And it's a win-win situation. I get to do amazing films. I get work all around, almost. And I get to be part of every industry and test waters everywhere. So it's amazing. Although some days I feel like, yeah, okay, like enough of shuffling around. Which industry do you like, which industry wants you the most? Come on, tell me. So I still don't know. I still don't know where my demand is the most. If I knew, then maybe I'd be able to focus on that particularly, but I've still not been able to gauge it. So I really don't know.
2019 has already been so far successful for you, and we really wish Nerkonda Paarvai and K-13 become the biggest hits of your career.
Thank you.
And please do continue to inspire people.
Thank you so much.